If you are like 80% of Americans, you've thought about planning ahead for life's unexpected events. Today, we meet an expert and introduce you to a new option many Denver residents are choosing for those challenging times. Horan and McConaty has been serving the Denver metro area community since 1890. President and CEO John Horan and his compassionate staff, they regularly earn a 99% satisfaction rating from the families they serve. From humble beginnings and up against several large national chains, Horan and McConaty has grown to become Colorado's most preferred family-owned cremation, burial, and pre-planning provider with 7 metro area locations. John Horan is here with us with the very beautiful Frances Owens, former First Lady of Colorado. And Frances knows how important, truly important it is to plan ahead. She recently made arrangements for herself and her family. Nice to see you again.
Thank you. Always good to see you, Ms.
Oh, you know I'm a big fan of you. I absolutely love you. John, let me brag on you here a little bit and explain to me, why are you getting this huge success rate? Colorado's most preferred family-owned funeral home. That's impressive.
Thank you.
People are choosing Horan and McConaty. Why?
Well, I think it's our ethic, the way that we approach this. We take great care to listen carefully to people, to honor their needs, to make things affordable, and then to be very, very careful to follow through in ways that makes things as perfect as they can possibly be.
What they would have wanted.
Absolutely.
Which is beautiful.
Yeah.
Frances, why did you decide to plan ahead?
Well, I am historically a good planner, but I think some of it kind of came about when my father became ill and very suddenly passed away, and we joined my mother down in Texas to figure things out. And it was just too stressful. And, you know, wanting to know what Daddy would have wanted. I mean, we could kind of guess, and, you know, we think, well, Daddy might like this, but sometimes you're not really sure. So it kind of puts the family at ease. It makes it, I can choose the songs that I want. I can choose cremation rather than using a casket. So it takes the load off me, and it takes it off my children as well.
But it's not something easy to think about, is it?
Well, it isn't, and yet it is. I think in as much as we know that this is something that will happen, it's not like, you know, well, maybe, you know. I think pre-planning is really important, and I know this is minor in the scheme of things, but could be very, very important for a lot of people. Once you plan and you've made your arrangements, the cost is locked in. So if I'm very fortunate to be here for another 30 years, I hope, or more, once I pass away, it'll still be the same cost.
It's heartbreaking to think about that. But you know what? It's so important. My husband lost his dad about a year ago, and when it's not pre-planned, it's so hard because emotionally you're dealing with losing someone you love, but then you're trying to figure out, what would my dad want? Am I doing this right?
Well, and speaking of that, kind of an interesting example, when we went to the funeral home to make plans for my father, my mother said, well, when I pass away, I want a blue casket. And the three of us just almost started laughing. And I thought, blue? I mean, you know, because you know, she loved greens and rust, and it was just something very foreign to us. So just little things like that make a difference.
And I hope you don't mind sharing this, but from my notes here, you decided on the cremation gardens at the Rocky Mount Memorial Park.
I did. It's the most beautiful setting ever. I mean, I can just imagine that if I go before my kids, which I hope I do, that they can come and they can relax and they can meditate and enjoy the beauty that the Memorial Gardens offers. They're just beautiful.
We actually have a clip of the gardens, and I want to show the beauty of it and what you actually selected.
One of the things that really sold me on the Rocky Mountain Memorial Park is its beauty, its peacefulness, and there aren't any other cemeteries like this. We're all used to, you know, the plots all in a row, and this just gives you the opportunity. You can be near the water, you can be memorialized under a rock, I love the Colorado plants and the flowers. You can have an area for your entire family. I was really intrigued by the benches, you know, and then the area around the benches could also be purchased for your entire family. If we all have to go, which we do, it's just a beautiful way for the rest of the family to be able to come and visit and to feel like that they're outside and they're in our beautiful state of Colorado. I just love the park. There's just no question that that's where I want to be.
Wow, Frances, I feel like I'm part of something really special right now.
It is. It's very special.
It is. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with all of us. How did that come about, that beautiful park setting? How was that decided to be open for people to be cremated and buried there?
From the time that I started my career, I began noticing that there are very few choices for people who prefer cremation. And as my career progressed, it occurred to me that this is a need that I felt I needed to address. So I traveled throughout North America. I looked at cremation gardens throughout the U.S. and Canada. I took ideas from them, but incorporated what I think are some of the finest things about the Rocky Mountains, streams, waterfalls. We've got the broadest collection of Colorado columbines, our state flower.
It's gorgeous.
There. And
is cremation a popular option?
Yeah, just over 60% of people are cremated in the state of Colorado. And so, yes, it is popular, and there aren't that many choices for people who choose cremation, and so it was our intent to offer people more choices.
What would you say to someone who's watching this right now and they think it's almost taboo to think about it, or they're nervous about pre-planning, or they think they can put it off another day? Why do it today?
I think it just takes the ease out of the process. And I will say I've been working with Michael at Horan, and he couldn't be kinder and gentler and wanting to help me with my planning. And in as much as you know this is inevitable, it really does make sense to plan ahead. There's no reason to wait. As you mentioned earlier, it can be so stressful when a family member passes away and you're not prepared. And since the likelihood is that it's inevitable, I just don't I don't understand why you wouldn't do it ahead.
Right, you're taking
really
the
don't.
financial burden, the emotional burden, everything off of the people that you absolutely love.
And able to make choices. I mean, I can say in a minor sense there are a few songs that I don't want, and there are certain things that I do want. So, you know, if it's in writing, it makes it a lot easier for the kids.
You have made such an impact on so many lives in Colorado. There's going to be so many people visiting that garden to see you.
I hope so.
Absolutely,
it's just
there
beautiful.
will be. And why choose a family-owned instead of going to some place else? Why choose you? Well,
that is a real choice, especially in the Denver metro area and actually throughout Colorado. I mean, there are a lot of big chains throughout Colorado, and you know, I go to work there every day. My name is on the sign. My family has over 100 years of heritage, and I take this very, very seriously. It's in the way that we hire. It's in the fact that we care for families in ways that it shows, because we are there to care for families for generations. We're not there to serve stockholders over short periods of time. And I think it's reflected in the way that we serve families, the way that we charge.
I love that you said that. You're not there to serve stockholders. You're there. You are a family, and you know what it means. So you're so compassionate and so caring.
The most valuable thing we own can't be seen or touched. It's goodwill.
Right.
It's our reputation.
Yeah, that's so true. Well, thank you for coming on the show, and thank you for taking care of this beautiful lady. She's gorgeous inside and out. It's done so much for Colorado. It's unbelievable. And there's something you can do today to help protect you and your loved ones. Horan and McConaughey is Colorado's most preferred locally owned cremation, burial, and pre-planning provider. Their website, HoranCares.com, has a full list of services and information on the cremation gardens at Rocky Mount Memorial Park. It's so so beautiful. You can also call them right now, 303-743-8804. That's 303-743-8804. Ask for a free consultation and copy of their Live Well, Leave Well planning guide and DVD. Just mention you saw them here on this show, Colorado and Company. Haran and McConaty paid for this segment.